friends, and welcome to Lemon Tree Corner. If you don't know me, my name is Heather and I run a small handmade business where I make purses and bags and project bags for makers like you. And to all of you who come here every week, welcome back. I'm so glad to have you with me this week again, and let's get started. So this week in the studio we are going to be focusing on our next bag, which is the Maxine Project Tote, which is a nice big project bag that we're going to make mainly to fit my ever-growing Christmas blanket. So these are the fabrics, and if you saw last week's video you will recognize all of these again. The very cute Lori Holt fabrics that I love to work with, just very what I call grandma fabrics. So these are the fabrics we're going to be working with in the bag. I found a wonderful bag tutorial that I'll link below that we're going to be using to make this a step-by-step tutorial video, and so that's going to be the main focus of this week. We're also going to continue working on our felt ornaments. I got the fiber fill all ready to go and ready to finish off the 4 that we've already made. Other than that, we've been making wonderful progress on our Christmas blanket. So this is the Annie's Kit Club's Christmas Candy Sampler Blanket. I can't even get it all in one shot. It's getting so big. So since I had COVID last week, we got a lot of work done on this. So we've got all of these, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 stripes, and just gonna keep cranking through that, and taking time to recover still this week. It's a lot. I didn't realize it was going to hit me this hard. I am getting over it and getting back to work, but definitely kind of took the wind out of my sails. So thanks to all of you who have sent me wishes of health and healing. I really appreciate it. And other than that, we're just preparing for the next and last craft fair of the year, which is the Patchwork Show here in Long Beach. I'll have a link in the description. You can find out more about the show if you're anywhere in the Long Beach area. LA area or Southern California. I would love it if you would join me for that. My sister and I will be there with bells on and getting everything ready. Still waiting to find out if I can get a 10 by 10 space or not. I was in a panic signing up for the show apparently and did not register for the correct booth space. So I'm waiting to hear back from the organizer and see if I can't do the 10 by 10 space, which has the pop-up canopy. That's the size of the canopy. I don't know what I'm gonna do, because then I'd have to invest extra money in like a nice patio umbrella, and it really wouldn't fit everything that I need to fit in this space. So we will see. I will just be fluid and go with the flow and find out what's going on. Other than that, I think it's just gonna be another slow week for me of recovery and healing. I don't know if any of you run into this, but you kind of go, 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 and especially in our hustle society here in the US, I'm not really taking time. So as devastating as this illness has been for me, I'm really grateful that it's temporary and that it really gave me like a week at home. A week at home to putt around and not really do much except for rest and take care of myself. So a blessing in disguise, I would say. So pop it down in the comments below. You know, how do you deal with things like that? Do you listen to your body when it's telling you that it's not feeling well? You know, what are some things that you do other than like drinking tea to soothe yourself and give yourself time to heal? Or are you one of those people like me that feels like you have to be busy all the time doing something and can't just take time to relax? Usually the only time I take time to relax is when I'm sick. I kind of give myself a free pass when I'm sick, and it's like, that's it, I'm not doing anything, I'm sick. you know? So that tends to be the only time when I do actually put my feet up. And even then I was working on the blanket the whole time to feel like I was doing something productive. So that's kind of where we're at this point. And I'm still stuffy and sucking on a cough drop. But the dry cough thing that has been going on for months now is hopefully going to be resolved. They switched me to a different blood pressure medication, so hopefully that will get rid of that side effect of the cough, and we can move on in health for the remainder of the year. So as always, I would love it if you would hit the like button. If you've been here more than once, I would love it if you would become a subscriber, hit that subscribe button, and join our community of crafters here. And pretty much anything you do to interact with the channel, whether that's hitting the like button, subscribe, notifications, making a comment, anything that you do really helps support my channel because it tells YouTube that you're enjoying the content and YouTube suggests it to more people. So I would love it if you could help me grow this channel and to bring our people into the fold, so to speak. So without further ado, it's time to get this pattern all cut out and ready to go and get the fabric ironed and starched and ready to turn into a bag. It's a magical process, just like baking. Okay, let's go. Yay, I'm so excited to be getting back into making bags. So here we are with our Maxine project tote. So even though I only need the large pattern, I think I only printed out one. So I'm going to cut out the large pattern, which is going to be this pink mark here. So I'm going to line all of these up. Yeah, I think I just printed out the one copy. Normally when I get a new pattern like this, I would go ahead and I'd print 3 sets of these, cut them all out, have them all ready to go, so that I don't have to do this again next time if I decide to make a small or a medium. But the whole point of this is to make a larger project bag. So we're gonna just go with this. We do have a 1-inch tester square. Very important that we measure that. Make sure we're at full size, which we are. So that's good. So I usually take a direction like, you know, top and right hand side to make that the flush side. So that I'm cutting off flush on the same sides all the time. So we will do that. So we have A, and then this one normally I would do 1/4 of an inch, but it's pretty much, well, it's a little over 1/4 of an inch. It's just more work for me to cut it off at this point though. So I think I'm gonna leave it, but we are gonna cut, oh, we don't have to worry about that. Only have to worry about the ones that actually have a letter next to them. So what I like to do is I like to tape them all together first, and then cut them down, because after we tape them all together, we're gonna cut on that line.
It's nothing new, but it's so good to see you. We do this every day, and I'm still so amazed by you. So hold me tight through the night. It's just us two, me and you. Oh, oh, I can't believe you love me. Oh, oh, I just feel so lucky. Oh, still can't believe never ends. Let's be more than friends, yeah. You know I'm here to stay every single day, yeah. So hold me tight through the night. It's just us two, me and you. Oh, 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 I can't believe you love me. Oh, 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 I just feel so lucky. Oh, 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 still can't believe you love me. Falling into your arms, dancing up in the stars. Oh, where I'd rather be than with you. Oh, oh, I can't believe you love me. Oh, I just feel so lucky. Oh, still can't believe you love me. Oh, I can't believe you love me. Oh, I just feel so lucky. Oh, still can't believe you love me.
You came along, couldn't look away. Somehow you turned my life completely upside down. And since you've been gone, there's no peace of mind. A foolish heart and healing thought I would be fine. No matter where I lay my head, another town, another bed. No matter what I do, I'm still gonna be dreaming of you. No matter who I try to love, it's always you I'm thinking of. No matter what I do, I'm still gonna be dreaming of you. Your silhouette dancing on the wall. I try to close my eyes, but then I hear you call. Yeah, your perfume that I still can stand. But every time I think these scars about to mend.
I accidentally cut 2 of the exterior pieces when I was supposed to cut 1. But the good news is that the exterior side panels are pretty much the same size, so I basically had already cut the square out. And then I'm only left with this little piece of extra from cutting it that way. So actually it wasn't too bad. And I'm not using this exterior fabric for anything else, so it's not like that big of a deal that I accidentally cut this wrong. Now the next fabric we're doing is the lining fabric, and that would have been a big deal because I'm also doing one of the pockets out of this and the interior pocket front out of this as well. So this one has to go a little bit farther than the exterior, but I think we'll be okay. Oh yeah, actually, I'm doing it differently for the interior, duh, because I'm not following the pattern. Okay, so in the pattern we have this front center piece. You're supposed to do it in the lining also, but I don't feel like I need a snap pocket in the lining because we're also just doing that normal slip pocket with the divisions in it. So I actually don't need to do that anyway because the lining is going to be 2 of these the way that I'm doing it. So that's good. And there was plenty of fabric left from the yard, so I should be able to get everything I need for out of this green lining fabric. So that's good. Okay, we shall continue. Okay, can we talk about this cutting mat for a second? So this is a 36 by 24 mat. I upgraded to this after trying to cut all of those fat quarters, and they just weren't even, and it would just be easier to be able to lay out a whole fat quarter and cut it apart. The reason I've hesitated on getting this big of a cutting board is because it's huge. It takes up like so much of this table, and like I used to be able to put my rulers over here. I have like a little ruler caddy, and that won't fit here. That won't fit here along with this little shelf, and I like having the shelf, so I'm gonna have to like move the shelf over to put that there. It's a whole situation. But the one thing I love about this is, look how big this is. I would normally have to fold this again and cut, but of course that makes it so that my fabric is a little off. So So I'm very happy about this little arrangement here, and I can just slide it around, and it's wide enough that I don't have to do a bunch of extra folding, which is wonderful. So I'm going to cut it this way just to minimize on the amount of space I'm running out of. Because I'm going to need this whole side over here for the other pieces. So we're just going to do it this way. I also like doing this because I don't have to put the pins in. And whenever I put the pins in, it just means extra time. So if I don't have to put the pins in, then that means that I'm just cutting this apart and rocking and rolling without that. Now I've noticed my blade is a little dull, so we might be changing my blade here pretty soon because I don't want it to be dull. And I think I'm gonna just try and cut this. I don't like to cut it this direction like this. I'd rather be on the other side of the paper, but yeah, see, because I'm gonna cut some of the paper off this way. It's not gonna quite be even, but that's okay. It's close enough. I did cut some of the paper off. But look how much easier that is. It's right there. So I'm just gonna fold this for a second, kind of put it out of the way until we cut this apart. But how easy was that? I'm loving this, see? And then I can just rotate it without moving the piece at all. I think I'm going to move this up just because I can get more pieces out of it if it's up here. If I cut up here, then this whole fold area, you know, is twice as wide as that. So it's a much better remnant piece to have. It's a little trick I've learned over the years. So see, you'd rather waste this little bit on the selvage than waste everything on this end. This is so nice. I can just spin it. This thing is just so big. It's great. I am loving this cutting board. This is like the first real project I've made, you know, like cutting apart big fabric since I got the cutting board, so, or cutting mat. That's why I am so thrilled to be doing it this way. Yay. Okay, so with this big of a piece of fabric, you know, I'm probably going to be able to get a few more things out of that. Maybe. We'll see. But at least it's a bigger scrap piece to have for like any future quilting projects or anything. Now I don't trust myself to get in these corners the way that I did with the cutting mat, so I am going to do this slightly differently. I am going to just cut this with scissors. It's just going to be easier that way. If you tilt it too far up there. Okay, so we're just going to cut this. And oh, I have noticed that I went off course a little bit here, so let's fix that. This is over here, and this was under. So before I cut those corners out, I make sure everything is back to straight. So I'm so hot right now from ironing these, so I always iron fabric with a little bit of, what spray is it called? Best Press? Best Press spray when I'm starting off, just to pre-shrink the fabric, because I don't pre-wash these or anything. I would just lose too much of the fabric that way, but I do want to pre-shrink these. It's just kind of best practice to pre-shrink these and make sure that, you know, if anything happens to the bag, not that you're really washing most of these, but they are technically washable, and I don't want like the whole bag to shrink on you, or worse yet, part of the bag shrinks and part of the bag doesn't shrink. So that would be really bad. I'm going to keep these squares. I didn't think about it with the other web, but I should keep all these squares because they're little 3-inch squares, which are perfect at some point to do some quilting with. So we will keep those. So now we have our lining piece. I totally forgot earlier that because I'm not making that interior pocket, the snap pocket, that I am going to need 2 regular pieces of this. So it's just funny that I cut it wrong the first time. So here's our center front panel. So we're going to have one that's up here and one that's down here. The way that the pattern works. Let me get the pattern. So here's, you know, one piece and the other piece. Now I'm trying to decide if I want to do it both pieces like this, or if I just want to do this in the green and this in the multi, you know, wedding ring quilty pattern. So that's our question. So I guess the best thing for me to do is to lay these out next to each other and just see if I had it like that, and then with the rest of this, you know, on the sides and everything, like, is that enough green poking through? Do we want it that way? Because then it would be more like this, where this whole thing is the same fabric, with just this little part being the green. And I don't know. I feel like that's enough of a pop of green, but I also feel like there's not a lot of variation going on here except for this pocket piece. And I really like that this whole panel here is different. But then again, that's because the rest of the fabric is plain. And my fabrics aren't plain. So, or I could have it all in that fabric and have everything on the side. I don't know, it's a tough decision. I can't really make my mind up about this. What would you do? So basically, my only problem with the pocket being one thing is that you're gonna see, you know, it's gonna look like that. Except for I'm gonna have this little piece, you know, I'm gonna have this little piece of welt up here that's gonna be this color. And is that enough of a break in your eye for this green? I kind of think it is. I kind of like the whole pocket being one color. Okay, well that answers that question. I'm so glad that that worked out. Most of the times when I cut something wrong, it does not work out that nicely. This worked out very nicely, that it just kind of worked, you know?
Another town, another bed. No matter what I do, I'm still gonna be dreaming of you. No matter who I try to love, it's always you I'm thinking of. No matter what I do, I'm still gonna be dreaming of you. Nobody got the magic touch. How you make my heart rush. Why is that so hard to find? Nothing better than your kiss. Something that I can't resist. Can't forget the nights you were mine. Oh, no, no. Oh, no, no. Still gonna be dreaming of you. No matter where I lay my head, another town, another bed. And no matter what I do, I'm still gonna be dreaming of you. No matter who I try to love, it's always you I'm thinking of. No matter what I do, I'm still gonna be dreaming of you. No, no, no. Yeah, yeah. I'm still gonna be dreaming of you.
Hello, Ramona. I can't shake the simplest feeling beyond the ghost. We stand on the opposite shore. Hello, Ramona. I reach through mysterious ceilings, my only hope. I look for the things I don't know. For all in this, I stand alone. Show me where the ending goes. Honest, honestly don't. I should be the last to know. We're all in this, I stand alone. Show me where the ending goes. Honest, honestly don't. I should be the last to know. Hello, Ramona. I mistook you for a dream. The engine glows, and I guess you always seem to know. Hello, Ramona. I push back the serious feeling. The end's unknown. To get back the life I used to know. I stand alone. Show me where the ending goes. Honest, honestly don't. I should be the last to know. We're all in this. I stand alone. Show me where the ending honestly don't. I should be the last to know.
You're made for, and there's nothing that is too late for. Out of the cold into my warm hand, in the sun, it's already begun. You are my one, with a simple mind, we should find some more time. We don't need to worry at all. Everybody couldn't make a wrong turn. You waver and slip and you get burned. But I'm here, so don't you worry, 'cause you know I'll be there in a hurry. Out of the cold into my warm hands, in the sun, it's already begun. You are my one. We just dance, find romance, second chance. We don't need to worry at all. In the sun, it's already begun. You are my one, with a simple mind, we should find some more time. We don't need to worry at all. It's already begun. You are my one. We just dance, find romance, second chance. We don't need to worry at all.
Yay! Oh, I haven't made a bag in so long. It feels so good. So all I have to do is pick what we're putting in the drawstring. I haven't had very good luck with things to put in drawstrings lately, so I'm not sure what I'm going to use. Yay, so cute. And a little pocket, little snap pocket, and the interior pocket. Very, very roomy pockets. Very roomy bag. Okay, let's go get our drawstring options and see what looks good. Totally forgot that I bought twill tape as a cording option. So we've got these two, which is like a macrame cord, but they're kind of big and bulky. And when I tie the ends together, they never quite look as neat as I would like them to look. But this is like such a nice big bag that I think this chunky stuff would look better. What somebody else did do was do twill tape, and actually this navy looks good. This navy looks really good. And the twill tape is just a lot neater to like fold over and sew the ends. So I'm not sure. It just looks kind of thin on this particular one. On the smaller ones, it looks nice and neat. So there's that option. I kind of like the navy. Let me see, I think I have this in a navy. Let's go see. Oh well, the other one I have is black. And I don't really want to do black because there's no black in here anywhere. The navy, at least there's navy in here. So we are gonna cut this up. One thing I did see with this that somebody else did to make it neater, instead of tying it and having the frayed ends, is they actually took a piece of the fabric and made like a little fabric tab. So I think in this case I'm just gonna tie it together and have the frayed ends because I like that look. But for bags that I make and sell, it would look a little neater to do it the other way. Okay, we're almost done. Yay! Now see how she has a bead on here? I did buy some chunky beads. The last ones I bought, the opening wasn't large enough for the cording to go through. I guess we just have to check and see if the cording goes through. Not that these colors are really doing it for me. Maybe we'll just go for the dark guys here. So yeah, it's a question of actually getting this frayed end to go through the bead. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Guess we could do it really fast before it frays. Even that's like super tight. Oh my goodness. I should tape it first? I'm not sure. Oh, if I rotate it, it kind of works. That's good, but it won't fit both pieces. So that's not gonna work after all. So I'm just gonna tie them together, call it a day.
It's like we're running in circles, going around every day, getting stuck in the hurdles of yesterday. Don't you wanna go further away from the fray? Let's not get stuck in our worries. We'll make our own way. Won't you come outside where the sunflowers bloom? Breathe in the air. Look up to the moon. I'll meet you outside, away from the crowd. Just you and me together. It will all seem better outside. Just us in the sky.
like a heavy burden, but I can't relate.
Get nice and tight. That's about even. And then we're gonna cinch it, and yay, nice and tight. The handles don't quite work like that. I'm glad I made the handles longer. They were gonna be shorter than that. I added a couple of inches at the end because I just had the width of fabric, so it wasn't like I had to worry about that, but kind of look like small handles compared to the rest of the bag. Okay. It's like a haircut. You gotta make sure the bangs are even on both sides. Okay. And we're done. Yay! Okay friends, so that's it for this week. Pretty much just focused on the bag, so let me know if you like that or not. I think in future videos I would not only just be working on a bag, but this week, just being what it was and me still recovering, just wanted to take it easy. Good news is that the craft fair contacted me and they're upgrading me to a 10x10 booth at no charge, which is wonderful. So that means we can do the setup that we figured out that works. I can bring the canopy, you know, everything's gonna be just great, and I can bring all the products. So what I'm gonna do this coming week is I'm gonna go ahead and reorganize all the stuff I have in the Tupperware bins, take out the stuff that I know I'm not gonna need for the show, and kind of consolidate everything into a more manageable chunk so that we can take it with us. And by the time you're watching this, that means the show is tomorrow, if you're watching this on Saturday when it goes up. So I would love it if you're in the LA area, if you would stop by. It's called the Patchwork Show, and it's at Marine Stadium in Long Beach. And so it's going to be Sunday the 13th from 11 to 5, and it's going to be over 250 booths, lots of food, lots of fun. So come out and say hi and just look at all the wonderful handcrafted goods that are available from your local peeps. So would love to see you there. And oh, the pièce de résistance. Okay, so here we have the old bag where the blanket is right now, the Christmas blanket we're working on, and it's like bursting at the seams here. So that's why we needed a new bag. And here's the new bag. It's so cute. It's so cute. So it's got this huge opening here, and I made slip pockets on this side. It's also got a drawstring handle, which is kind of weird because I feel like these little handles don't really work or look good when the drawstring is closed. So I feel like you could have easily made this a recessed zipper and it would have looked better because it would have just been this nice big size the whole time. And as soon as I use the drawstring, it makes the bag a lot smaller. So I think if I'm gonna make this again, and I would like to have a larger project bag in my product line, I think if I was gonna make this again, I would just make it with a recessed zipper, which means you wouldn't have this nice accent piece here. I could just sew an accent piece at the top anyway and call it a day, but I just feel like, oh, and I extended the handles by like 2 inches, and they still look like pretty small handles for the size bag. So I would probably make them larger, but it's kind of the shape of the bag that I was originally thinking of making with the beach tote, except it did have a recessed zipper. So I'm kind of like, wah wah, I wish I had just put a recessed zipper in here. But, and I don't really have a drawstring that I like. As I talked about in the video, I've got this macrame cording that I've been using, but I don't know what I want to do for the drawstring bags in the future. The twill tape looks really polished and clean, so I might just invest in the twill tape. But you know me, I bought like 4 colors of this thick macrame cord, so I'll use that at some point. So let's move into our bag. Okay, so let's move into the bag. So obviously this thing is huge now. So we're gonna take all the yarn at the bottom here, put it in the new bag. I've got my little scissors, my needles, and my crochet hook. She's gonna go in one of the pockets. Oh, maybe that's a little bit bigger. So nice roomy pockets here. So I wasn't really thinking when I divided up this big pocket. Could have just done it in 3s because these 2 side ones obviously are smaller now because the seam. And then I've got all my pattern booklets. I really only need this last one. These were kind of nice to have with me as a reference of the colors because sometimes I'm not sure like which color is which name in the pattern, but I don't think I need those anymore. So get this one. Oh, it just fits. It just fits. I don't know if you can see that. I can't really open this up. It just fits. This pattern, this little pattern booklet, like just fits in the pocket. That's great. Okay. And now the blanket. Get that in there. Shove it in there. Yay. Yes. There we go. And I've still got, what, like a third of the blanket left to make? So it's not like you can really travel, but if I was making a sweater or something, it would fit very nicely in here. So if I cinch it up, that's what we're looking at here. So that's a nice hefty bag. It's nice and big. I, of course, love the patterns. I set these ones aside for myself. I mean, the snap pocket, I could put my cell phone in here, my keys. I could just take this as a purse somewhere if I wanted to. So that's cool. Yeah, I'm just not sure about the drawstring. I probably would have liked a zipper. I probably would have liked a zipper better than that. Oh. Let me go back here and let's take a look at the blanket. I don't even know where we are. I hope I didn't pull my stitches out there. Okay, it doesn't look like I did. I really just need to put a progress keeper or something there. I keep playing Russian roulette. Okay, so I think we ended on, I can't remember what we ended on last time. Did we get up to this one? Yeah, I think we got up to this one, which is the Suzette stitch. This one is, I just got rid of all of the booklets. Stripe 18 was a wide ridge texture. So that was that one. And now we're on to this white one, which is kind of this really nice lacework texture, which really wasn't that difficult to do. So I'm almost done. I've got one more row of that, and then we are on to the next stripe. So making good progress with that. Put that back in there. Alrighty, so that's pretty much it for this week. Looking forward to continuing with that. I didn't get anything done on the felt ornaments. I need to cut out a bunch of them and get an assembly line going. I'm going to get through this craft fair, and I'm taking the day after the craft fair off, the Monday, and I have a massage planned. So I'm just going to kind of let go of the craft fairs and have some time to myself, have a little spa time, and then get down to work on the next thing, which I don't really have a bag as the next thing, so maybe we should just focus on these felt ornaments and get them ready for Christmas. I'm planning on redoing my inspiration wall behind me, all the washi tape is coming off the wall at this point, so I'm just gonna figure out a different way to set that up and do that. And I have a few things to add to the wall, so I'll take you along with that. And other than that, I just hope you're all doing well and staying comfortable and staying happy. So I will see you next week. Thanks for hanging out with me. Love you. Bye.